Bhagavad Leela, chapter 67. Lord Balaram slays Dvivida gorilla. There was a huge gorilla named Dvivida, who was the brother of Mainda, and he was the minister of King Sugriva during Ram Leela in Treta Yuga. He continued to live in Dwapara Yuga and became a friend of Narakasura and became a demon by that bad association. When he heard that his friend Narakasura had been killed by Krishna, he wanted to get revenge. So Dvivida created havoc throughout the land, setting fire to villages and towns. Once this Dvivida gorilla tore up many mountains, destroyed the surrounding area. Another time he went to the seashore and agitated the waves with his arms and submerged all the coastal villages. He sometimes went to the rishis' ashrams and destroyed their gardens, and then he would pass stool and urine on their yagyashalas. Sometimes he would kidnap men and women and put them inside mountain caves, sealing up the entrances with big stones. And sometimes he would rape the young girls of aristocratic families. One day, while creating such disturbances, Dvivida heard sweet music coming from Raivata mountain. Going there, he saw Balaram singing and dancing in the midst of many young girls. His eyes rolling as of intoxication from drinking Varuni. That mischievous gorilla, Dvivida, climbed into a tree, and while jumping from branch to branch, he jerked the branches and made a particular sound. Kila, 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 kila. That distracted Balaram from the pleasing atmosphere of his dance. When the gorilla came before the girls and displayed various poses, they simply laughed, for after all, young girls are fond of joking and prone to silliness. The young ladies accompanying Balaram were not very serious. Being fond of joking, they laughed loudly at the monkey's impudence. Dvivida was insulting the girls by making odd gestures and coming in front of them and showing him his rear end. He ridiculed the ladies by walking in a funny way, moving his eyebrows and standing in front of them and urinating. He disrespected Balaram by not even glancing at him. He insulted the ladies by pulling the garments off their beds and ripping them. Balaram became very angry and hurled a rock at the monkey, Dvivida. The cunning gorilla dodged the rock and then grabbed Balaram's pot of Varuni just to insult him. Then Dvivida drank that pot of Varuni and got intoxicated and broke the pot. Then while laughing and ridiculing Balaram, he began to pull off his and the girl's valuable clothing, thinking that the Lord could do nothing to chastise him. Having heard of the gorilla's previous mischief, Balaram angrily picked up his club after deciding to kill the miscreant. Dvivida uprooted a shala tree with one hand and rushed at Balaram and tried to strike him on the head with the trunk of the tree. Balaram remained calm, caught the tree with his hand as it fell upon him, and then struck Dvivida with his club, which was named Sunanda. Struck on the skull by Balaram's club, Dvivida became nicely decorated by the outpouring blood. Still the gorilla was not disturbed. He ripped up another tree, stripped off his leaves, and began striking Balaram on the head. However, when Balaram tore the tree to pieces with his club, so then Dvivida took another tree. This was repeated several times until the entire forest became treeless. Exasperated, Dvivida started throwing boulders at Balaram, and Balaram easily pulverized these stones with his club in a sporting spirit. When there were no more rocks, Dvivida resorted to beating Balarama on the chest with his fist. Becoming furious, Balaram put his club aside and with his bare hand struck a blow to Dvivida's collarbone, causing him to collapse while vomiting blood. As the gorilla fell dead onto the ground, the weight of his body caused the Raivata hill to shake like a wind-tossed boat from the sea. From the heavens, the demigods and celestial rishis showered flowers while chanting, Jai Balaram, Jai Balaram, Jai Balaram, Jai Balaram, Jai Balaram. And thereafter Lord Balaram returned to Dwarka. And Vishnu makes one comment that Narakasura was described as Narakasya Saka. He was a friend of Dvivida, this gorilla. Though Dvivida was a minister of the great devotee of Ram, Sugriva, and Dvivida was an associate of Ramachandra, Dvivida became corrupted by the bad association of Narak, and this caused anarthas to arise in Dvivida. This bad association was the reaction for an offense Dvivida had committed when he disrespected Lakshman due to being proud of his strength. The Mainda and Dvivida mentioned here in the Bhagavatam are actually eternally liberated devotees, addressed as attendant deities during the worship of Lord Ramachandra. Sri Krishna arranged their degradation to show the evil of bad association that results from offending great personalities. Thus the fall down of Dvivida and Mainda can be compared to that of Jai and Vijay. So this is the result when one becomes proud and he disrespects a great devotee, and then he gets a reaction for that Krishna forces that offender to take up bad association, to associate with sinful or materialistic people. And when he associates with those bad people or bad association, then that stimulates his sinful samskaras or anarthas arise in him, and he becomes degraded and punished by the Lord. So one must be very careful not to offend any great personalities. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.